What's up, guys? It's Shreyas Laddha, and I have my guy Carter Stanley, and it's another episode of Rock Chalk Film Room. KU comes off their first win this past weekend against Houston. First win in a long time. I think it was 51 days in between games when I wrote about it. First FBS win of the season, but they made it happen. No turnovers. The team looked really good on both ends. And, I think it was a good building block as they head into the biggest matchup of the year, Kansas State.
Yeah, no, I think good win on Saturday. Nice to get back in the win column, 2-5. Dream still alive, I guess. But no, all jokes aside, it was definitely a good win, and nothing bigger so far on the schedule up until this point. Than this game. So super big time matchup. K-State, they're playing really good football. They only have one loss. It was a disappointing loss to BYU, who surprisingly to I think all of us has been a really good football team this year. So definitely going to be a good matchup. I think KU getting some momentum last week definitely helps.
No, 100%. And, I kind of going into that, we talked about the offense and kind of want to talk about what KU needs to do offensively against Kansas State to come out there and challenge them, but more importantly, come out with victory and end that 15-game losing streak.
Yeah, I think so. This was a clip from last year's game against K-State. Great game. Obviously, KU had true freshman Cole Ballard in at quarterback, and I think KU ended with right around 250 rushing yards, which is impressive in itself. But when you take into consideration that K-State had to have imagined that we were going to emphasize on the run, and a lot of plays were wildcat formation from KU. So that being said, it was actually really impressive, the rushing numbers we had last year. And it kind of gives me optimism for this year. I think obviously things are different with Kotelnicki being gone and Jeff Grimes being the offensive coordinator. But I think if we could just focus on establishing the run from the first play till, hopefully taking a knee at the end, but just establishing the run, getting those carries in for Devin Neal, Daniel Highshaw, that's going to open up play actions like this in crucial moments of the game. And, it doesn't necessarily have to be a third or fourth down. It doesn't have to be, goal to go situations, but, say you need a must score drive, whether it's end of the first half or end of the game or something, you get a play like this, 1st and 10, where they're thinking run. You sneak tight end, whether it's Fairchild or Cardell off the backside. And honestly, Devin Neal is wide open here on the wheel route too. So you get stuff like this where the defense so honed into the run and you just get a cheap 60 yards.
Yeah, and I think the really interesting thing is, like, we've seen success with Jaylen Daniels and play action. It's just they haven't done a ton of play action as much, I think, this year as they did under offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki. And I think the big thing is, like you mentioned, is like that play action opens up the running game. And at the end of the day, that's what Kansas' bread and butter is, Devin Neal and Daniel Highshaw. I mean, Devin is about, I think, 73 yards away from doing the record for all-time rushing yards, which is nuts. And obviously, Jaylen Daniels had the best, I think, game he's had in a very long time against Houston. I mean, he was doing stuff that I think we haven't seen him do in probably multiple years. Like 2022 was stuff that he was, I remember he was being rushed out of the pocket by a Houston defender. He went to the left. He kind of threw it on a dime, a dot of a ball, and caught it. And I was like, whoa, like that's an
we're
NFL.
That's what I said. I said, we're
back. That's like an NFL type, like, kind of throw that you want to see from your quarterback. That's the kind of stuff that Jaylen Daniels was doing in 2022 and 2023, and that's why Coach Lance Leipold said in this press conference that I think we're starting to see the old version of Jaylen Daniels come back.
For sure, yeah, that was definitely exciting to see. And another thing definitely ties into the run game, and this is actually a perfect clip to discuss that. Last year in this game specifically against K-State, we ran a lot of speed option, whether that was wildcat with, Devin Neal at quarterback, high shot the running back, and running speed option with the pitch to the end, or it was Cole Ballard doing it really well himself. I think if we could get some of that going, obviously Jaylen's a great athlete, and if he has pressure from the inside nearest defender, he's going to pitch it out to Devin Neal, who's even a better athlete. I think that could be a great thing for us. And again, to tie it into the play action situation, this right here looks exactly like speed option to start. You get Cole Ballard running out, you get the running back kind of flanking out to the end, get those linebackers to come up. Next thing you know, you get a nice crossing route, dig route behind it, and it's a nice play.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting. They've been using Devin Neal as a dump-off option a lot more this year, and it's something he emphasized to me before the year started, that he wanted to be more of a receiver in that kind of role. And I think it's something that Lance Leipold pointed out really well of he's done a great job of being that dump-off option this year. And I think it's something he did really well in high school, so I was a little surprised. I know it's something we've talked about. Why have they not used Devin Neal in that role as much as they can? And I feel like it's become more usage this year than previous years. And I think it's paid dividends to how shifty and quick he is. And, it feels like, he might be behind the line of scrimmage. And then you look up, bam, it's 15 yards right there.
Yep. No, it happens quick for sure. And, to segue that into the defensive side of the ball for KU, I think we have to look out for DJ Giddens doing the same thing on their side of the ball, because, he's a guy that could get anywhere from 20 to 30 carries a game, and that's their MO. They're going to want to run the football, whether that's with Giddens or Johnson or Dylan Edwards, their second running back. But with the pass game, the running backs in the pass game, if you look at DJ Giddens' numbers and, if you've been watching the games, it seems like once a game he'll catch a pass and he'll go for 30 yards on a reception. And Dylan Edwards, he's more of an explosive back, more of a receiving type of back. He's more than capable of doing that as well. And, being a Kansas kid, I could see them trying to get him involved and playing a big role in this game. So I think defensively for KU, just really focus on stopping the run, number one, but always keeping an eye on those running backs for sure, because they could hurt us in the pass game.
Yeah, I think that's really key. I mean, I think, Avery Johnson has the legs to come out there and make KU's life hell. And I think it could happen, because it seems like most quarterbacks have done that this year outside of Houston, because Houston just does not have quarterback plays, what we've learned on Saturday, and Illinois, because that was a quarterback they played against. But it'll be really interesting, because we were talking about it beforehand. Avery Johnson's a little banged up. I mean, he came in and out of the Colorado game. He didn't run too much. I think, obviously, sacks came into the factor, right? Negative 15 yards. I don't think he ran at all in the West Virginia game. It's going to be interesting to see how healthy he is and how capable he's of running. And if he can't run, it makes him much more one-dimensional in the offensive end. Yes, he's looked better as a passer. He's looked more comfortable week in, week out. But those legs are what make him so dangerous. And the Kansas State is beatable if Avery Johnson doesn't have the scrambling ability that, is what he's kind of known for.
No, definitely. Couldn't agree more. It's a huge opportunity, opportunity to end the streak, 15 straight, I think it is. And, a lot of veterans on this team for KU. So it does feel like this would be the group that gets it done. Manhattan's definitely not an easy place to play. And, this is kind of their Super Bowl. I hate to say it, but they seem to get up for this one, no doubt. And rightfully so. It's a big time matchup. So, I think KU, if we could get this win, would be huge. Obviously, the first half of the season didn't go anywhere near expectations, but you go into Manhattan, you get a win to end the streak, and this season automatically, in my book, is a success. So definitely looking forward to it this weekend.
Yeah, I think it would be a great matchup, and if Kansas can get the win, that starts it becomes a little easier to see them making a bowl game. They have a tough end of the year schedule with a lot of ranked teams, but number one is winning against the Wildcats on Saturday.
Yeah, don't let the boys get hot.
Thanks, guys.